Yo, this is Jay from Straight Smoke Gaming, and in today's video, we are doing the last NFL offseason review that we have to do, and that is the AFC West. So, the AFC West, they bring you the Chargers, Broncos, Chiefs, and Raiders. As you guys know, the Chiefs have kind of dominated this division in the past couple years. Back-to-back Super Bowls. I mean, the Chiefs are the team to beat in this division. But, some of these teams like the Raiders and the Chargers and the Broncos, honestly, they're all pretty young teams. So let's go ahead and talk about them. So starting off here with the Los Angeles Chargers. We talk about some key adds. They took Joe Alt in the first round, offensive lineman out of Notre Dame. They got Gus Edwards from the Ravens to be their running back. And then they drafted Ladd McConkey in the second round, wide receiver out of Georgia. So projected record of 5-12. Honestly, that might be a little bit generous considering the latest injury to Justin Herbert. So might be a little bit generous there with the 5-12 record. But let's go ahead and talk about the key adds now. Another thing that was not talked about in the videos yet is they got a new head coach. They got Harbaugh from Michigan. So he's coming in. Michigan, very run-heavy team. So he's going to try to incorporate that in the NFL. Funny enough, his brother, coach of the Ravens, he also has a very run-heavy team. So that's why they went out and got Gus Edwards. Gus Edwards kind of fits the scheme of what they're looking to do a little bit more than what Austin Eckler did. Austin Eckler was known more for a receiving back. Gus Edwards, he's a big bruiser back. He's going to get downfield. He's going to get you the tough yards that you're needing. Joe Alt was a first-round pick. One of the quotes was, offensive linemen are weapons too. So Joe Alt, I do think that's going to be a good pick. I do think that makes a lot of sense, even if you're just talking about trying to establish the run game. Offensive lineman's good because you need a good line to block on runs and pass plays. So I do like Joe Alt. I think Joe Alt will be good for this team. And Ladd McConkey is a good pick solely because of all offensive wide receivers and offensive firepower they lost. Eckler, big in the receiving game. Lost Keenan Allen to a trade. That got rid of Mike Williams as well. So, it's going to be really big that Ladd McConkey step up. And along with, if Quentin Johnson can step up, I haven't lost all hope on him yet. He was a first-round pick for a reason. Pretty good in college. So if he could figure it out and the Chargers develop some rookies, they could be good. I just don't see that happening in year one. Next up, we got the Denver Broncos. They really didn't have that good of an offseason, if I'm being honest with you. Not a fan of the Broncos offseason. They drafted Bo Nix and Troy Franklin. I give them a projected record of 4-13. Let's go ahead and talk about the key adds real quick. Bo Nix, I like him. I think he's going to be a good quarterback. Sean Payton says he sees Drew Brees in him. Hey, we've seen what Sean Payton was able to do with Brees. If he sees someone like Brees, go ahead, get that guy. Sean Payton's a Super Bowl winning coach. If he sees something like that in a Hall of Fame or future Hall of Fame quarterback, you got to get him your guy. But in the first round, that was a stretch. Bo Nix, he was especially where they got him. The Broncos were bad. They had a high pick. Way too early. If you wanted to trade back up into the first and get him in the late rounds, okay, makes sense. Even if you wanted to wait in the second and get him, makes sense. But early first-round pick for Bo Nix, I'm not seeing how that's going to work out. And then Troy Franklin is college teammate, actually. So I do like that. They got the duo. That's going to be a guy that he's going to be able to rely on. We've seen success from college teammates like Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. So maybe this could be the same thing. Maybe I'm just blowing it out of proportion, Bo Nix going as early as he did. I just personally didn't see that happening. But other than that, when you look at this team, they just kind of lack a lot. Courtland Sutton, good wide receiver. He's not that number one. He's not going to be that guy that goes out and wins all the one-on-ones. He's not a Jamar Chase, a Justin Jefferson. When you look at tight end, they really don't got anyone notable for tight end. I'm a fan of the running back, Javonte Williams, but he needs to stay healthy, and we need to see him put together a really good season, kind of like what I was hoping for out of his rookie year. But ever since that injury, we haven't seen him be the same. So, if he could get back to what he was his rookie season and be a little bit more consistent, hey, maybe we got a solid talking point with the Broncos. I just don't see it yet. Next up, we have the Las Vegas Raiders. Honestly, Raiders had a pretty good offseason. Good enough to compete with the Chiefs? Probably not, but they are trending in the right direction. Let's talk about key adds for a minute. Christian Wilkins. They signed him from the Dolphins. Good defensive tackle, probably one of the best. Probably top 5, yeah. I would say that. They went out in the first round, drafted Brock Bowers. Good. He's a tight end, listed at tight end from Georgia. He's would have been one of the most hyped up tight end prospects since Kyle Pitts. Hopefully he's a little bit better than Kyle Pitts, though. And then they went out and signed Gardner Minshew as well, quarterback coming over from Indianapolis. Has a chance to compete for the starting role. Projected record of 9-8. Let's go ahead and talk about the key ads for a minute. The Raiders' defense has been pretty rough in the recent years, so going out and getting a guy like Christian Wilkins to pair up with Max Crosby, maybe Christian Wilkins will be a little bit more of a better run stopper, or hey, maybe he can create a little bit of pressure, make it a little bit easier on Max Crosby. I do like the move there. And then, you also got Tyree Wilson, another first-round pick on the opposite side of Max Crosby. So I do like how they're trying to construct this defensive line because, if you have a good defensive line, that will go a long way in today's NFL. Look at what the Rams are able to do with just Aaron Donald. That was a really good defense, and Aaron Donald was really the only notable name on the defensive line, especially last year. When it comes to Brock Bowers, it was a little bit of a shocking pick because it wasn't a need for them. But, you can never go wrong taking best available. Brock Bowers has the athleticism, in my opinion, that you might be able to put him in the slot and him be successful just based on his size. So I do like the pick there. Gardner Minshew is a intriguing pick because if AOC isn't what you're hoping he can, Gardner Minshew is a guy that we've seen you could slide in and still be competitive with. So I do like that move. But you're just not going to be able to compete with the Chiefs. So as you guys know, the Chiefs, they won the Super Bowl last year. They going for a three-peat this year. Their key ads were not they didn't have three key ads, mainly because they didn't have many holes. The main thing that people were talking about with the Chiefs was the receivers, so they went out and addressed that. Marquise Brown and Xavier Worthy in the first round. They also have Rashid Rice. If Rashid Rice stays out of legal trouble and does not get suspended, that is a big win for this team. If Travis Kelce does better than what he did last year, we did see him kind of drop off a little bit. He is getting older, so he might be to that point in his career where he's just not what he was anymore, but he's still a very good tight end. And they also went ahead and drafted a tight end this year, so I do like the move of drafting a tight end now. Give him a couple years behind Kelce, the best in the game. Maybe he can learn a thing or two, and then when it's time to hand over the torch, maybe he'll be ready. But I do have the Chiefs coming in at a projected record of 14-3. They really hit the nail on the head here with what they needed, which was weapons for Mahomes. Mahomes was able to win with not many weapons, so if you give him weapons like Xavier Worthy, really fast speed, hopefully he can fit a little bit more into the Tyreek Hill role than Rashid Rice is. I feel like Rashid Rice, he's not better than Tyreek Hill, but I just feel like he's a better route runner. Tyreek Hill's known for his speed. I feel like that's what he's going to be known for too, is his speed. He's a really small wide receiver, but quick. And then Marquise Brown, I put him in the same tier as Rashid Rice when it comes to the type of receiver. So if Rice does go down, Marquise Brown's a solid guy you could slide in. He's been with the Ravens, been with the Cardinals. Overall, pretty good year with the Cardinals. The Ravens took him in the first. I don't think he was what they wanted him to do. But when you're playing with Mahomes can make anyone look good. He had Kadarius Toney on his team who couldn't catch a ball, and he still somehow won the Super Bowl. So, yeah, Mahomes is just that good. But that's the AFC West. Go ahead and comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. What you think key ads were for your team or for a specific team. Let me know what you guys think of the records. This is opinionated, subjective, so I like hearing you guys' opinions. And that's pretty much it for this video. So if you enjoyed, please remember to like and sub for more Madden content, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.